Why hello there, this is the Cassette Master, and welcome to my video. This video is called At My Desk 6, shot at my desk in my bedroom. In this video, we'll be showing to you some various different mechanical pencils, not yet shown in previous mechanical pencil videos on this channel. The ages of these pencils will start out very old, spanning back to the early 1940s. And then we will be showing some modern mechanical pencils acquired just this year, 2019 AD on the Gregorian calendar. Gotta love that British tea. The real way to have tea. The real cuppa. Here you can see my British tea, a very nice cuppa. Next to it you can see the base of an old lamp that was owned by my grandfather. This lamp, I believe, comes from the 1940s and is very ubiquitous and very recognizable to many people. It is this lamp that sheds light down on to these three vintage mechanical pencils from the same decade as the very lamp that illuminates it, save for the fluorescent tubes. These pencils were found at a flea market pretty recently in Conway, Arkansas. They're very interesting specimens, especially the wooden one at the top. So let's examine these three writing utensils one at a time. First, this old wooden one here. You can see on this old fine writing utensil, it says Woolies Auto Supply. Tigers, 1941 schedule. September 19th. Sagata here. Or Bogata here. It's hard to read that part. September 28th. Open. October 3rd. Cooper here. October 10th. Goodland here. And so forth. This pencil is in the shape of a baseball bat and is made out of real wood. If anyone wanted to take somebody out to the ball game where they could eat their Cracker Jacks, they could also take with them their notebook and this Woolies Auto Supply pencil, and using this baseball bat 1.1 millimeter mechanical pencil, they could therefore write their notes in their notebook about the baseball game. Now, let's take a close-up at the top of this baseball bat mechanical pencil. Or, not the top, shall I say, the tip. Here is the tip section of this 1.1 millimeter writing implement. You can see it has a slight three little rings here of slight knurling, or whatever you'd call it, a friction enhancing area, roughs, you know what I'm trying to say. Jeez. And turning that around, you can extend the 1.1 millimeter lead in order to make marks on paper. This is a very nice writing utensil and is the most interesting one, well, one of the most interesting pencils of the set of 4 that I found at that flea market. Now you might be thinking to yourself that having found 4 at the flea market, I only showed 3 in that previous deal. That's because I'm drum rolling for one of them. Next is an old pencil made by Quick Point in St. Louis, Missouri. You may be able to notice that vertically down the clip it says Quick Point, St. Louis. This is a very interesting old pencil. I really like the texture to the plastic on it. Just that look is just looks beautiful. And I think this pencil is also likely to be from the 1940s, although I am not 100% sure, but I'm thinking it probably is. You can see it says Fabric Fire Hose Company, Indianapolis, Indiana. Genuine wax and gum treated here. It is a very nice writing utensil indeed, utilizing, not surprisingly, 1.1 millimeter lead. Twist the tip here to extend the 1.1 millimeter lead. Next on the list we have this handsome writing utensil here. It has a nice looking area at the top, kind of flat, with a clip coming down right from the top. It gives it kind of what I would call a handsome look. It just looks like a stately pencil, if you see what I'm saying. It just has a certain look. You can see a fine gentleman using a pencil like this, wearing a nice suit in the 1940s. Anyway, let's take a close-up at the clip. Every time, man. As you can clearly see here displayed, this pencil is a Right Point mechanical pencil. It also has the same nice swirly like, or whatever you'd call that, plastic, which just, I love that. Oh my gosh, it's pretty. Little Rock Packing Company, Arkansas made. A product of Arkansas brand. Manufactures Arkansas made products. Phones 40361. Look at that ancient phone number. Little Rock ARC. Not AR, but ARC. The older abbreviation where they would just put, the first 3 or so letters in a period instead of a 2 capital letter system. Really dates this pencil. Every bloody time. Every bloody time. Now, this one, to extend its 1.1 millimeter lead, you do not twist the tip area like on the previously shown pencil, but instead you turn the top. And then you extend the 1.1 millimeter service lead. I find that very pleasing. Very nice mechanical pencil. I apologize for the background noise here, but I wanted to give a more authentic sound. Next on the list is a very special writing utensil. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so why am I showing a phone? An old Western Electric telephone. Nice red one. Beautiful old phone. Old dial, the good old dial Bell telephone. Well, we'll have to take a good look at the mechanical pencil that is nearby. Okay? And once you see this mechanical pencil up close, you will understand the reason why, A, I'm showing an old Western Electric Bell telephone, and, of course, why my voice is being put through a carbon microphone of a telephone handset. So, let's take a look at this writing utensil, shall we? You'll see this mechanical pencil right here is a very, very special one. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it's from the 1940s or a little later, like in the 50s or so, but it is a very interesting old mechanical pencil. If you look at it up close, you'll see it says Southwestern Bell Telephone Attendance Award. E.S. Bridges. That's right, a man by the name of Mr. E.S. Bridges won an attendance award from the Southwestern Bell Telephone Company. And that attendance award was none other, as far as I know, than a very interesting 1.1 millimeter mechanical pencil, which to me brings great delight. And on top of that, we see on the very top of the pencil it says Made in USA, right at the very top of the clip. The very interesting thing about this pencil is it actually contains liquid, and inside you can see little bells that say Bell System. Let's try zooming in. You may see very up close that it says Bell System on these two little bells. And the nice thing about these little bells is they're in liquid. If you shake the pencil about, the bells kind of move around in this very old liquid. I don't know exactly if this color was intentional, but it begs me to say that perhaps the color has been somewhat affected by age, but I'm not 100% sure how much it's affected by age and how much it's supposed to look like that. But this is indeed a very interesting old mechanical pencil. And of course, to advance its 1.1 millimeter lead, you turn the tip area. Again, I want to apologize for the buzzing noise in this section. We will resume back to the lapel mic. There is an interesting side note I want to make. As an aside, that particular red telephone that you saw earlier, when I say this, I mean this for real. It's no joke. That red telephone, in its past life, have been used by Freemasons. It was acquired from the Albert Pike Masonic Lodge. How I acquired that telephone was because I had to go to that Masonic Lodge to do some work on the air conditioning system. And thankfully, they gave me as a gift a couple of old telephones. But anyway, this is an old Blass mechanical pencil. Now, when I say old, I don't really mean old. I just mean old in an informal sense. Because whereas the earlier writing utensils we've shown here on At My Desk 6 were from around the 1940s, at least the baseball bat was confirmed from 1940s because it said 1941 schedule, which tells me that that pencil would have been made earlier in 1941, most likely, being the schedule started in, I think, September. Is that correct? Yeah, September. Is this pencil here. This was found at the same flea market as those other four writing utensils. Matter of fact, it was part of a pen and pencil set. And of course, the pen, well, let's just say the pen was a pen. So I have the pen and pencil set complete, but like I have the pen and I have the case for it. They're kind of tucked in my drawer. Then my drawer is blocked by my tripod, so I can't open it all the way and all that crap. But anyway, this Blass mechanical pencil is probably from the mid 2000s or late 2000s. That's my guess. And you can see up close on its clip it says Blass, spelled B-L-A-S-S. Kind of like glass, but with a B. It is in an all-metal enclosure, and unlike the other pencils that are made in USA, this particular implement is not surprisingly made in the People's Republic of China. This pencil, unlike the others that use 1.1 millimeter lead, uses 0.9 millimeter lead. A little thinner, but still thick, bold lead. You can see though that it does use the old-fashioned style of lead advancement, using the twist as opposed to the modern click. Also, if you pull the top off, you can see an area where an eraser would be put, but of course the eraser itself is missing. This little area here, the part that would hold the eraser, is made out of plastic, whereas this shaft here is metal. I believe it's aluminium. And of course, back in here, actually part of the inside of that is plastic, with metal on the inside of it and then metal on the outside of it as well, with plastic in the middle. Put that on and you can advance your 0.9 millimeter service lead. It's a rather interesting pencil. It has a neat style to it. It has a nice texture to it because these stripes here are not just visual, but it's actually texture, slight grooves down the pencil, so it gives it kind of a nice look and feel. It has a nice kind of a burgundy, like reddish, maroonish, shiny color. Pretty neat mechanical pencil. Here displayed are 5 modern mechanical pencils. Now, when you look at them, you may notice they all have something in common. Most mechanical pencils, you'll see a name brand, a model number, a lead size indicator, so forth. These pencils, you'll notice, do not have any indication of anything. They're blank. You might be wondering, where do you find these? Now, some people out there probably already recognize them or know, but others may not be familiar, and they may be like, where on the flat earth do you find a pencil that has no markings on it of name brand or lead size or whatever? Well, these pencils are manufactured by a company called Muji, spelled M-U-J-I. Their stores, I think, are more popular in bigger cities. I acquired some of these pencils in New York City not long ago at a Muji store. The Muji stores sell all sorts of things. They sell clothing and some cooking wear, and they also sell, best of all in my opinion, writing utensils. Japanese goods. All their writing utensils are Japanese. It's a very Japanese type place. And the style that Muji goes for on their writing utensils is not to have a name brand indicator or model number or whatever on the pencil. Sure, there's a sticker on it that says Muji and stuff on it, but I always take the stickers off my pencils whenever I get them. And they know the most annoying thing about that is whenever I'm doing it is the freaking sticky residue I have to deal with afterwards. It applies to most pencils that have a sticker on them, like Pentels as well. But anyway, so these are some very interesting pencils I recently got at Muji, although this one was gotten for me at Muji by my coworker Nam. And he got me this pencil. I was like super excited because this is a really nice writing utensil. It has a very interesting clutch mechanism comparable to the Staedtler 9505 and a shock absorption that is a little bit different than your typical shock absorption, which I will show in more detail later during the course of the writing tests. It also has a decent weight to it, though it's not heavy though. Anyway, this first pencil here is pretty basic in features, but classic nonetheless. It does have an eraser on it with a little cap on there. And it has a fixed sleeve. And you can click out the 0.5 millimeter lead. Next on the list is the most thin mechanical pencil to enter my collection, and actually feels a bit awkward to write with because I'm not used to holding a writing utensil so thin in my fingers while I write. This mechanical pencil is very typical in the thickness of many mechanical pencils and even wooden pencils here. Notice the difference here in thickness of these two writing utensils. Okay, this is a very thin writing utensil. Anyway, it is a wooden pencil and has a black eraser, which I think is cool, but I don't necessarily want to erase with it because I don't want to wear down the eraser and take away from the classic look of it. It's made to look similar to a school's classic wooden pencil, but obviously is a mechanical pencil. Here, amongst my long unclipped fingernails, which is very signature of my style, is the tip where I can click out the 0.5 millimeter lead. It's quite an interesting mechanical pencil indeed. I apologize for any lack of focus. Here's another Muji mechanical pencil made out of metal, probably aluminium. Oh yeah, here you can see the tip of this mechanical writing instrument. Click out the 0.5 millimeter lead. Pretty nice. It also boasts a small eraser. Very comparable to Pentel erasers, actually. Dig it with a shovel. Next on the list is another pretty cool Muji mechanical pencil. It has a clip mechanism that actually has a spring inside. So kind of a nice hefty clip which can open pretty wide. So you can clip it on a decently thick set of papers or a binding of a hardback book, etc. It contains a small eraser in the top covered by a clear cap and has a nice rubber grip that has a particular texture to it that is very good for getting lots of friction. So you get a nice firm grip on this pencil. It also has an extendable or an extending type whatchamacallit on there, so that whenever you click out the lead, it extends the sleeve there and then you have the lead. Dig it with a shovel, swallow the boogers, live life. Okay, so next on the list, of course, is the one that was a gift from my coworker and friend Nam, which is also a Muji pencil. This is a very nice mechanical pencil made out of ABS plastic. Of course, the top part and bottom here, of course, are metal. But it also contains the small eraser. Notice there's actually a hole on the top of that one, which I think is nice. And you got your eraser, which is also comparable to a Pentel eraser. And then here's the tip area. Notice when I click the lead out, that thing extends slightly. This uses a dual clutch design, comparable to the Staedtler 9505. Here's the tip of the Staedtler 9505. Notice it uses the same system. Yeah, the lighting and everything is sucking and it just looks like crap. I apologize for the unprofessionalness of this video. When you're looking at a freaking camera viewfinder that is freaking like everything is reversed from what you expect it to be, it can be extremely confusing. But anyway, these use the same style of clip mechanism in which you have a dual clutch. The idea of the dual clutch is that you have the regular clutch you have inside the tip of the pencil, then you have a second clutch at the end. Because many times when you're riding with a mechanical pencil for a while and you get close to the end of the lead, you get to the point to where you click the lead out some, then you go to the right and the lead pushes in some. You click it out again and the lead pushes in some. So then you decide to reject that lead and you keep clicking and clicking and clicking while holding the pencil vertically until a short piece of lead about this long comes out. That piece of lead is wasted. The dual clutch mechanism, though, has the idea of holding on to that smaller portion of lead while the rest of the lead has left the first and original clutch, and therefore you use up more of your lead and it's more efficient with lead usage. That is the point of the dual clutch mechanism, and that's something I really like with this pencil, is the fact that it uses that dual clutch mechanism. Another interesting thing is, of course, the shock absorption. Most shock absorption type pencils, the lead pushes into the sleeve. But since this uses a dual clutch, you can't do that. So instead, the clutch mechanism itself as a whole extends back into the pencil slightly as you push down. It is now time that we perform some writing tests. The first pencil we will perform writing tests with is none other than the baseball bat shaped Wooley's Auto Supply from 1941. Random note. Wooley's Auto Supply, 1.1 millimeter. Now, modern lead had been put into that pencil because it was empty when I got it. Burn. Next, we will show the quick point. This has vintage, possibly 1940s vintage, 1.1 millimeter lead. Notice the difference. You see how light that writes? Isn't that incredible? Oh yeah, man. Oh my gosh, yeah. Next is the right point. Beautiful, mate! Ring, ring goes the Bell telephone. The call centers switching machines. They're switching relays, moving around in their most fancy ways possible as a phone number is dialed. All the automated systems of the Bell system in full operation as one makes a call to talk to somebody using a carbon microphone. Let us give a writing test to this Bell System Attendance Award mechanical pencil. Next on the list is our Blast pencil. Now we graduate to the Mujis. Bird. This has that rattle. I love it. No apostrophe. Sorry for that. last but not least, dig it with a shovel. Well, that has been writing tests with these mechanical pencils shown to you. Viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video at my desk 6, shot at my desk in my bedroom. Or if you want to be more precise, the room that used to be my bedroom. Though the bed has been exhausted from this room, and now I sleep in the master bedroom. But this very room used to be my bedroom. Matter of fact, if I were to go back 3 years ago today, the exact area where I'm sitting was... Every time it happens over and over again, the sound goes away for a second and then slowly comes back, and with the audio control, and it's driving me mad. Okay, back to normal. The location where I'm currently sitting 3 years ago is exactly where my bed construct workbench once was. Unfortunately, at some point in the year 2017, after I moved to Massachusetts, the bed construct had been not only removed, but destroyed. My room was completely redone. Hardwood flooring installed, walls painted blue instead of orange. Think Monty Python. And, well, of course, because that was with my mother had the mindset, and I, of course, had the mindset in a good portion of 2017 that I would never move back to Arkansas. I moved to Massachusetts for a new life with a new woman. But then, the relationship, I had made the decision, no. Not the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, so with that in mind, I ended up moving back to Arkansas, and, well, this room had to be reclaimed. So, the Massachusetts-esque workbench had been set up, the desk brought back in from the garage and set back up in the room. The master bedroom now for sleeping, since my parents have moved out to Texas. And now at my desk can be shot again at my real desk in the very room that once was the original bedroom of the original At My Desk series. Anyway, please leave any comments as to your thoughts to the series. Burp. I know, all the burps, the sniffles, coughs, drinking, all those noises I tend to purposely leave in the videos. Some people may think it's absolutely horrendous and absolutely hate my guts and detest my existence for it. And if that's the case, you're entitled to your opinion. Others may be okay with it, others may like it. It really is up to them. But as for the At My Desk series, the style remains. When you're watching At My Desk, be prepared for a low voice, because the At My Desk series is only done when my voice is low from having a cold. This has been too long of an outro of a video that will get watched by hardly anybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.